Add a new user to the system. Task directory, employee master. Before you add a new user, do search to see what users are already in there. They will appear here. To add a new user, type in the user's first name, middle initial if available, last name. Provide the user a user ID, often last name, first name, or user ID. You will assign a user ID. A birthday is required. It's almost easier just to type them in. A hire date is required. You can also and should include a background check date and the date of the first contact. Messaging is allowed. I don't have it set up here, but that will be automatically checked, and just leave it. Okay? Is active means that it's an active user. If the user is no longer active, you will just deselect it and they will be not able to sign in again and will be off of your active user list. Position is a required field. And everything else here is optional. You will select for an administrator who is going to set up services that the user can publish to the company library. If they're a direct care user, typically you would not do that. You will select which locations the user has access to. So if you have multiple locations, you'll see them all set up here. You'll select the ones that they have access to. You will select a user role. So if it's a direct support professional or a nurse or an administrator, these roles have different abilities in the system. If the user is an administrator, do enter in phone number and work number. And if you have to repeat it, do repeat it. They're both required if they're an administrator later on in the system. And an email address. They're not required fields, but if they're an administrator and you're going to use them at the location level or in incidents, you want all of this information included. At this point, this is the minimum, you can save the record. When the record is saved, it will say record saved. And the user will be able to log in. The first time they log in, their password will be a 1. They will be required to change it. And they will be required to change it every 90 days. If somebody forgets their password, log in, search for their record, select their record. You can see their record here. Come down here to where it says reset password and put in another 1. Save the record and then tell them that their password is 1 and they'll be able to reset their password. That's it.